Hello everyone and welcome to today's Blender livestream. Now today I have a little bit of a nostalgia trip to play around with. Today's goal is to make these star bits, hit this planet, and fly around with gravity, of course. This is highly based off of Super Mario, well, it is just straight up based off Super Mario Galaxy. Don't ask me where the models came from. But I watched the Super Mario Galaxy movie, and it was okay. The graphics were amazing. The story, as someone who is a big fan of Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, those were my childhood games, the movie is very loosely tied to it. They did Rosalina a bit dirty. But other than that, I did enjoy it. It was fun. But let's go and do this. So, in my grand foresight, I forgot to bring the movie clip into Blender, so let me go and do that real quick. But yes, I got the Grand Star, I got the Launch Star, which, by the way, with these models, let's just go and take a little look under the hood with all these. These use matte caps. So these textures, let me go over to the UV editing tab. These just have, if you ignore the UV maps, which I can just hide right there, they have, this is just a matte cap, just to make the highlights and reflection, or pseudo reflections here. This is mapped using a little setup I have here, which just takes the normal, converts it into camera space, of course. As we can see, it's just like that. Then you just remap it a little bit because it just needs a little bit of that. I probably could just make that multiply add. Probably would be better, though I always forget. Yeah, multiply then add. So this should be exactly the same. Yep, exactly the same. There we go. Reduce it by a node. And what I like about these models, what is very fascinating to me, is that, you know, this was made during the Wii era, back when I was a little baby. So they didn't have a lot of power to work with, though, as we see over here, they had a lot more polygons than I thought to work with. I thought this was much lower poly, even when I was playing it as a kid. They had quite a few polygons to play around with. It seems that their main limitation was, like, the GPU, I would assume, because the shaders are very simple. They're basically textures with baked-in vertex colors, so that is what's causing the shadows here. We go and turn off this little node group I have. Wait, there we go. We go into, that's the water. Never mind. Okay. We go into our little node group here and disable the vertex color multiplication. Hopefully the music isn't too loud right now. I got the Super Mario Galaxy soundtrack up, just for peak nostalgia. As we see here, this looks completely unshaded, and then here, it seems completely shaded, simply because we're multiplying it by that baked-in, what I'm assuming is ambient occlusion with the vertex groups. So they just did that, which I think I have it a bit too harsh because I do not remember it being that strong. So I can dial it in if I need to. They probably had parameters for that. Actually, let's go and try that real quick. But it looks absolutely... Oh yeah, that looks a lot... Yeah, no, that's much more what it looks like in my memory. But then again, I forget if that was pitch black or not. I'm also using the standard color space. Yeah, that's more of what my memory was saying, so we'll just... I don't know, we'll go with that for now, and I can always disable it, of course. Yes, what was I gonna say? Alright, the texture layouts are very interesting as well, because the textures are so incredibly simple. Is this Mario Galaxy? Yes. Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, because they're basically the same game, are my favorite games as a kid. I haven't actually played them since. Now look, these textures are 256 by 256, and they get so much mileage out of them. Like, if you were to tell me that was a 1024 by 1024 texture, I would believe you. It's just like, oh, it's a bit crunchy, but yeah, that makes sense. But they just made it work so well. You can see a bit of tiling here. Maybe that's an export issue right there, but it's... they did so well. My one complaint is this texture. I'm not exactly... I never liked that texture even when I was playing it as a kid. But it's not bad. It's not bad. For the water, I'm just panning to textures going back and forth, which I believe is close to what they did in the game, but I'm not entirely sure. Actually, if I were to think more like them, it would probably only be going on one axis and not two. Like, it would only go on that Y, and then one would go with negative Y and all that. And, ooh, did I forget to do the vertex color on the... joined all these objects so that... Ooh. We have that, and then the ground. Did I forget to... No, that one does have the vertex multiply. Oh, yeah, no, it does have it. It is impressive how much they were able to do with so few resources at their disposal. Like, again, just vertex colors. They saved so much on shading with that. And it is... Well, the music is a bit loud. I apologize, everyone. I'm talking a bit quieter. Oh, wow, it's only at 4 or 3. Oh, yeah, I'll turn down by a bit. Nope, that's too loud. As all these tracks go by, now it's at 2. This must have been a very loud rip of the song. The memories I'm having as each level plays out. But yes, let me get that little video clip into Blender. Oh, by the way, this is somewhat related. Let me go be right back so that I could go and pull the video file real quick. Assets, Super Mario Galaxy, where is the... Get the intro in here. This is a nice video clip. And auto refresh needs to be on. Funny thing, I've been looking into adding in the scene time node to the shader editor, as most of you know. I feel like I'm getting close to it being fully functional. At the moment, it seems fully functional, even though I cannot test the OSL and GPU implementation with the builds I'm doing. But, it turns out this node already uses the scene time if you click auto refresh, which makes complete and total sense. So I am referencing this a little bit with the scene time node, and hopefully, with a bit of luck, I can make it work out. So here we have this, and as we can see, I believe this recording is probably at 60 frames per second, while this rendition is at 24. So if we look at this, we can see the star bits, when they fall, there's the mother star bit right there. They have a bit of a glow, and then they have a trail falling down like that. So that's very cool. So, how do I do this right? I feel like, because I need to trail the particle, I'm going to be using my inbuilt particle system, which I forget if I put in gravity into that, regular gravity. Because I'm not building another particle system from scratch. I've done that 15 bajillion times, and I am not doing it again. We just have that where they fall down with a bit of a trail, they hit, the trail dies, and then a few star bits just oof, and then all that happens, which looks so nice. So let's just offset this so that we can see it within the first couple of frames. That's all good. And yep, let's get this rolling. We have that. What are you? That's the actual sim, and then the icosphere is the atmospherics for the Gateway Galaxy. I love that game. It has such a nice vibe to it too. Like the colors and all that work so well. They haven't really gone back, like even with Odyssey, it doesn't have the same vibe, which I guess you don't want it to. Even with like basically no shading, I forget if this has any specular whatsoever to it. But they were able to do so much with very little. So nice. I guess they have more polys to work with on the Wii, because these are planets. You don't need to make like an entire room or anything like that. Entire open world level. Yeah, I guess this is open world. Anyway, enough stalling. Let's get this going. So I'm going to use my inbuilt the particle system I made. So particle system modifier. Now I am really hoping that I made this. This setup is old, quite old. So I am. Oh, where's the icosphere? Hello. In an ecosphere. Huh? Ah, that would explain it. Let's delete that one. We can also delete that one because it's too high poly. Let's go and reduce that to 2. Scale that up by about 20, because I want the particles to spawn up there. So with the emitter spawning, let's go and turn this on. Use the self objects, particles per second. Let's go and see. I think we have a few particles spawning in, and they're just falling. That. Now the question is, in the movement, did I add in... I did add in a surface force. Did not make circular gravity. In Super Mario Galaxy. Oh, I love this soundtrack. Lovely. I did not account for circular gravity with this setup. Though I do have geometry node based force fields, which unfortunately I did not copy over from the file, so I could... Wait. Let me just go and yoink that real quick. Under files, where did I put that stuff? Does this have the force fields? Because this would help. Oh, that is not the particle system. Particle simulation system. Yada yada. For you. Yes, I do have the force fields. Okay. Give me 1 second while I go and yoink. Yes, yes. I did plan. Oh, it's lovely when I actually remember how to do stuff. And force it. What the heck is? And of course, new collection. GN force it. There we go. That is lovely. Go and make this purple. For no other reason besides it looking cool. So, offset velocity, that's all fine. These are just floating in space. They have a little bit of initial velocity because I made it have an initial normal velocity, which I should probably default to 0, because that makes more sense. So, for the GN force field, let's do distance min, let's make that 10. Distance max, let's make that 2. So that this has a bit of gravity. 20 and 25. Just to be good. And strength. Please, for the love of all that's holy, tell me I... This. Are they still spawning outside? Oh, I forgot to actually assign the particle system. Yep. That's why I wish we were able to like look at the scene collection and then be able to like automatically find a collection with a certain name so that we would not have to do that. Nope, that wrong one, of course. There we go. Okay. So with this, okay, we're getting this set up, of course. With this force, we're going to make that negative 9.8 meters per second. Hello. Oh, okay. There we go. I'm getting back in the swing of things. There we go. So now we have this. They hit. And do they die on the hit? Of course not, because there is no collider. Do I make the collider this mesh? It is a bit high poly, but then again, we're talking about a model from the Wii era, so if Blender slows down due to collisions with this, there's no hope for my future. Oh, it was to combine... Yeah, it was to combine those. So let me go and actually apply that. Yeah, okay, that's good. Let's go and verify. Yep, all those got merged. Good. We have all that. Let's go back to the particle system. Let's go over to here, get a visual. Let's go and instance our... It's a bit big. A little bit big. Rotation and scale. Size scale. Oh, I don't want that. Oh. Did I forget to... Yes, I did. Aww. I might need to pull another thing from the sim. Have you ever messed with buoyancy sims in GeoNodes? I have. They're easy to do. Trail, enable trail. 1 second. Okay, that seems to be good. Size, radius, size, scale. Yeah, let's go and make the radius good. Particle info, size. Let's make this 1 meter. Meter. 1 meter. Really get the American accent going. And I need to just copy, yoink, the trail material from my file. Trail size? Is that the right one? Trail portal. Trail magic embers. I don't want it to be too much. Go and copy this in here. Make this trail size. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. I do want the radius. Oh, good. That's a radius multiplier. Yes. I love it when I actually think of things beforehand. Just the video. That's the actual sim. What are you? What are you? Huh? What is your purpose? Oh, I deleted the wrong thing. Well, if I don't miss it, it doesn't matter. What is your purpose? It doesn't matter. Okay. I deleted the collider. No. There's no collider yet. Alright, let's go and close this. No, this needs to be collider. New collection. Collider. 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 There we go. They're hitting, but the radius is a bit too big. Actually, we don't need... For the collider here, let's go and collapse all of these for the collision. Ah, I forgot to enable or disable some parts of the collision. That is annoying and unfortunate. And also there's the question of so for the trail, we need to make this only white. That is way too much. Let's go and reduce that by a lot. No, I do kind of like it being a bit blue. And then for these gradients, if we were to make it more like the game... Oh, that looks so good. Hello to everyone in the chat. Though... let's just stick with the fancy one because it looks a little bit better. So the initial particles are rather big. I need to make it so that they actually die on the hit. So let's just include all that. Delete on hit. And then there is a bit of... Yeah, they do that. They're supposed to hit. Then when they hit, they burst into a few more particles. So let's set up those few more particles. Let's start from scratch. Just because I haven't tested this particle system in probably over a year, which is not great. So the children, enable children, that's from the original sim. Child count. Does that mean it'll always be 5? A little bit unfortunate. Starbit. 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 There we go. Sim there. Let's go and bring the star bits. Please work first try. It is working. They are just hilariously tiny. their velocity is not randomized, which is good. That means that it's not looking nearly good enough, so let's go and bump that up by a bit. So some of them just seem to be dying with nothing else happening, which is not great. Some of them seem to hit and nothing occurs. Also, I think I'm going to turn on the specular. I should really just put all this into a node group so that I can just change one thing and then everything changes before things get to be a bit too, let me do that change now. Because if I turn up the specular and the roughness, it will change the look. I don't actually mind it all too much. So let's make that as a secondary output because that's like that. So I can remove that if need be, and that should probably be the first input. Or no. The simplest version of this will just be the color pass-through. Then, oh wait, I don't even need to do that because I have that there. And, nope, not there. Group. I should rename this to Super Mario Galaxy. No, material. Yeah, Super Mario Galaxy. There we go. Looks good to me. And now we could go and apply it to these 15 bajillion things right here. Lovely. You love to see it. Now for some, I can't implement it. Let's just make this standardized across all of them. There we go. Did I forget to yoink the old ones out of there? Yes, I did. Here we go. What are you doing at the moment? I am recreating some stuff from Super Mario Galaxy because I want to go down a nostalgia trip. Because I used to play these games as a wee 5 or 7-year-old. I forget how old it was when the games came out and if I played them when they did come out. It was great. I remember so many fond memories of it. And the movie just came out, the Super Mario Galaxy movie. I enjoyed it, but I don't think it was a good Super Mario Galaxy movie. For reasons, should I do a movie review? Sorry. That could be fun. So with the movie, it basically doesn't really have a plot. Like the plot is razor thin. And it does not follow Super Mario Galaxy whatsoever. And also, I have no idea why Star Fox is in the movie. Like, has he had a game in the past, like, 15 years? I have no idea why they put him in. But, yeah. It was, if you were to tell me that a character from Super Smash Bros., I know he has a different game that he's from, pilots Rosalina's ship instead of herself, I would be like, wait, what? Huh? Why? Why? But that's what happened. That's what happened. I am very confused. There is no random rotation. So do I just implement the rotation in the shader? I do need to add in a bit more glow, like when these things come in, they have a few more sparkles, and then glow and all that. Also the sparkly stuff. I wonder if I probably have that texture available. If I had to guess... They do look quite similar. Though there's no gray, I need to fix the palette so that there are gray star bits. Let's see. Also, these fall really slowly. So these have drag. While the children do not really have drag. So, I forget if I delta timed this. They have that. Oh, I forgot to actually... Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to actually put in the forces. So, of course it's not. The movement is incorrect. To forces. Let's get the geonode forces in. There we go. And of course there's no collision either, which probably leads to a few other funny issues. Friction is set to that. Bounce is almost 0, I would say. No, bounce is, yeah, both of those are almost 1-to-1. Huh? Interesting, interesting. Set that to be 50. Let's get you. Set the bounce to be, yeah, we'll have the original bounce be set to 1. Here we go. Other classic sound, part of the soundtrack. So good. I think it's a bit too glowy though. Let me go into the comp. And smooth. No, the star bits are just glowing a bit too much. Let's go into the star bits and then set this. Oh. Really, just one. Oh, no, I really bumped up the value. Maybe I just need to desaturate it. Nope. No, we are not desaturating that. Just reduce it by a little bit. There we go. Oh, that looks so good. Oh, I love that game. I should probably play it again. Have that and that. Interesting how the specular always desaturates. Oh, I guess that's expected. We can go and make it super glossy, which we just do not want. It's funny though. We want it mostly like this. So let me go and pull in another reference image, just so that I can make sure I have the reference in pretty good. Let's go and set that. This will be ref 001. Let me go and yoink an image texture. Gateway. Let's go and bring you into here. There we go. Oh, aspect ratios, my beloved. Oh, wait. I forgot about that. They do have a bit of specular change, but it's very different than what you would expect. I forgot about that little shader trick that they did. IOR is not even like this. It is... So, no, not that IOR. I'm talking about that... oh, do I need to fake it? With a Fresnel? It was a bit more like that, but not nearly. Layer weight? Discovering ancient techniques. Oh, it's almost there. Almost feels like it. So again, that and then that. Okay, it's almost there, but I need to reel it in more. So, nope. Nope. Let's go and use a map range. 0.5. That feels very similar. I hope. Probably needs to be a smoother step. It's close. It's very close to working. People probably know the code inside and out, so I'm just going over my feet here. Interesting. Okay. Let's not forget the launch stars and all that. Okay. And then we need to increase gravity. Yeah, we need to rotate the particle. Do I do that in the shader? Also, I have a gut feeling that yes. Okay, so when they fall, this starbit keeps changing color. And do they rotate? Yes, they do. They do rotate a ton. So what I need to do is just make this guy rotate. So for that, I'm just going to use... What should I use? I need to use the scene time node, which does not exist yet. I need to get this. Hashtag frame. Should I make this 30 frames per second? Yeah, why the heck not? Match the game, which you all won't be able to see this. Which is so sad. frame divide by 30. Let's make a group. Let's divide by that, so we can just have hashtag frame. We do that, so this is scene time, which has to be a node group and use a driver, which makes it slow, which is why I'm looking into getting the other thing done. Anyway, seconds. Main. Yeah. And we need to also apply you over here. Nope, wrong one. This will just be fog or atmosphere. Atmosphere. You love to see it. You love to see it. There we go. So we get you. Yeah, let's just plug in seconds into here. Unfortunately, I can't use view layer data because, well, if I were to make an actual scene time node group, I can't use view layer data because view layer data does not update per frame properly in cycles, which is why I'm looking into several other methods to make it work. Okay, so what I need to do is let's keep the base star bit in here. Because this uses the size to detect when it hits, I need to scale this up, which is an oversight on my part. Ooh, I got a star! So they hit. I really want to make it... Actually, you know what? Oh wait, this depends on the trail. The trail... Okay, I can make it so that it doesn't use size radius. That's good. Going to make this independent size, which is as scale. We disable that. It's going to be the same all the time, which I feel like these might be a bit... I might scale down. We're going to make the radius of these particles basically 0. Maybe a problem, but it should be fine. That's for the children there, so that's good. Or actually, no. They do need a radius because... disconnecting those will be fine. I think, radius of 0.25 might be... No, that's still way too big. Let me go and reduce that to... Not doing anything because it's not in the children's section, and I forgot to put a scale radius in the children's section because I am a genius. Okay, let's go over to here, emitter, let's change that to there, close the emitter, close the movement, go to the visual side, turn off size radius, we're just going to set that to be, there we go. And then for here, the scale, size scale, we'll turn that off, that's all good. It's better. But something is still wrong. Some of these are just disappearing. Which makes me think I have a parameter for how many children spawn. Nope. No, I do not. Yep. That is something. So maybe those just disappear into the ether. No. Yeah, why do some of them just disappear like that? That is very, very odd. Yeah, but the star bits, they're too big. Also, let me go and yoink Mario real quick. Ports. 1 second, everyone. I hope this is entertaining. Oh. Need to use an older version of Blender. Oh, sorry for not reading the chat. I'm so sorry. See, I think it's just a popcorn movie, just something you would have fun like once. Yes, I did have I usually don't have popcorn at movies just because, I don't know, I actually don't know why. But I was like, this is gonna be a popcorn movie. So I got popcorn and it was a good popcorn movie. Was it a good Super Mario Galaxy movie? No. Was it a fun movie? Yes. I still enjoyed it. It moved so fast that you just straight up could not register, like, if what was happening was, like, narratively important or not because it just moved so fast. It felt like it was less than 30 minutes. And this is from someone who watched Iron Lung and thought, oh no, that didn't seem long at all. So it was probably made for TikTok brain, so it probably went super duper fast. Where is Mario? Welp. Like I might need to pull a different model. 1 second, everyone. Just need to go and fix up some stuff. Works. Tab it incorrectly. Okay, now that. Two. Preparing another mesh for imports. But yeah, I still enjoyed the movie. Even, again, of course I'm biased to, of course I am, but where was I going with that thought? Of course I'm biased to Sonic 3 because, well, my involvement. But that movie had a lot more narrative weight. Not, again, I don't want to hate on the Super Mario Galaxy movie. A lot of artists put in a lot of very impressive work in that movie. The animation quality is insane. It's insane how good it is. But narratively, it is something. Why did they turn Rosalina into just a doomsday battery? That doesn't seem right. That texture is very low res, and I do not remember it being that low res in the game. This is a special version of Rosalina, of course. Great, this is not the right texture. This is a special version of Rosalina, which basically, in Super Mario Galaxy 2, takes over the player and shows them how a level is supposed to be done if they're having trouble. As a child, I never needed this, 100%. Never needed it. Yeah, actually... What part of the model is that on? Ah, it's the wand. Okay. That's fine, and then that's the crown. Pretty sure the accessories had the same material. Pretty sure the entire model had that. Well, anyway, I'm just using this for scale. And if I remember correctly... So let's go and move this entire thing out of there. Select hierarchy, move you all up there. If I remember correctly, star bits are not nearly that big. So I need to scale them down. 0.5. Oh, right, I was going to... Yeah, that feels a lot better. Okay, let's go and get a noise texture. Noise texture, or do we just have these rotating in one direction? Because this is going to be, since this is going to be per instance. So we get object into random, we go and get the seconds, we go and get the geometry position, which we will need to subtract the position, because this is a displacement offset. So this will be the, we feed in the position here, then that goes into there. So that'll be fine. So we have this, we rotate it, which is in global space, so I need to use the location of the objects. Spoiler, yeah, it's probably fine. Feeling that this won't work for a very interesting reason. But let's go and just take a look. Let's see what goes on. So that is what is occurring. Another amazing soundtrack. Wait, this one is from 64. Oh, it's the slide one. That's why, yeah. That explains a lot. Oh, we need to speed this up a ton. It's nice that they reused the slide. And of course, because this affects the normal, because we don't have regular displacement in Eevee. Yeah, it is really screwing with the function, which is, of course, using a mat cap. Again, right here. Oh no. No, 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 no. It is regular displacement is not supported in Eevee, which annoys me greatly. Because games have been doing this for 15 bajillion years. We don't have it. Just don't have it. We just need to set it to be that. Can we override it? Please, for the love of all that's holy, tell me we can override it. Nope. Doesn't look like it. Pain and suffering. Oh, wait. Of course we can do it because... Let's go and pop this out so that this is a special scenario, so we need to get this out of the node group. Oh no, it's already using the geometry normal, so what am I talking about? No, of course it's not going to work. No, 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 no. Or do I rotate the normal along with the position? Would that actually work? This does work, I'll be very happy, but I'm not entirely optimistic. Does it need to be the end? I'm just gonna say there's no hope for this and just use the sparkly and claim it's intentional. Here we go. We have that. The star bits are rotating very quickly. I still don't know why some of the star bits just hit, die, and don't create particles. That's something I'm quite confused by. And I think we still need to make another particle here. Just based where the star bit is, that is a glow. Also, why are they not bouncing? They need to bounce. I made it so that they will bounce. Some of them just do not bounce. They should. Friction, maybe it's because friction is so high? Something's up. Also, I should probably swap out... Okay, for this sim, we're going to change this to be starbit 001, which is significantly bigger, because that is how it works normally in the game. There's a larger star bit that does stuff. There we go. Let's go and bring this all over to here. So this needs to cycle through the different colors. So we need to set this to ease, and then add using the scene time node, which is totally in Blender right now. Let's go and do that, make sure this is fraction as well. Also make it so that it loops. There we go. We need to turn down the saturation, because I feel like we need to. HSV. My singing is impeccable. I've been talking all day today. Well, not all day, but need an excuse for my weak voice. There we go. It's close. It's close enough. And can I make it scale? When these particles die, I can make them release a sparkle particle. 'Cause that's what's missing, a nice little sparkle particle off of that. It's still... Oh, are they hitting that and that's why it's freaking out? That's why it's freaking out. Yep. I need to separate... these guys. because this... Oh, oh no. Control. Deselect, deselect. Ah, I'm a genius. Part-time. This does not deal with one-sided face as well. As we can see there, if we go and reset the sim, these will not have a ton of issues with this. Assuming that they're, yep, no, the internal mesh is fine. It's not refreshing the sim. Because this cannot freak out anymore. Need to change one of the parameters. Force an update. So, stim, mother starbit? Yeah. Starbit mother. Starbit mother. Ah, another classic piece of the soundtrack. Children. Ah, the sound of rolling that ball down the lane, falling off the edge of the world. Classic stuff. I know something just still isn't right. Also, I need to make it so that... Let's go to the star bit. Bring you over here. Maybe this should just be a mission. It did put in a little bit of metallic. But if there's a shadow ray, or a camera ray, is camera ray, you mix between 0 and 10 and 1, hoping we could get some interactive light? This is Starbit. Children. Or no, this is just regular Starbit. And this is Bit Mother. Here we go. So I'm hoping... Is there any refractive light coming off of it? Please? None. So sad. Specularity is working. AI approximation, that's probably doing something somewhere. Let's go and make this a regular principled BSDF. Plug it into plug it into there so that we have that doing all of this. As we can see, something is occurring. We can see that something is happening over here. If we make this like this, something is happening. So let's go over to the specular. You can see nothing happens until then, so unfortunate. Do I need to force an update? Ah, the children now update. Do some of those just disappear? Is the mesh just not watertight and it's causing some issues? No, nothing's going into the... Yeah. What's the story with you? Back in time. Wait, this one just phases through. Did you somehow find a wormhole or something? Or no, that one dies. Why don't you spawn anything? I don't know. Oh wait, I don't even need a second particle for this because that's already rotating. I can add in another part, which is the aura around it. It won't actually... Ah, right, it has the same material. Anyway, for the mothers, we need to align to camera. And then take this original thing right there. So this will be star piece. Maybe for a aura. Glow. Glare. Making the terminology a bit better. Not gonna be too Gen Z here, being like, haha, aura. Unfortunately, Blender does not have billboard well, no, Blender does have billboard particles, but we can't access them. That, let's go to here, reconnect this guy into there. Have that. I really wish we had interactive light, but that would betray, you know, Super Mario Galaxy and their vision because they just didn't have that back then. Not true interactive light. All these panels are the wrong way, so let's go and rotate y-axis 90. Nice, RX 90. There we go. So now we have a nice billboard there. So now we can implement Aura. So, star bits. Wait a minute. Huh? There's no glow. Do I just have to... Oh, I have to do this myself. Oh no. Another very funky piece of the soundtrack. Let's go and get the distance. Let me go and read the chat as well. Let's see. Can I suggest something? I don't know if it's possible. Can you gather old streams you did, especially those you delete in unlisted lists or something, because I want to rewatch them for educational purposes. Sorry that I responded so late to that. I've been so absorbed in this project. The old streams that I've deleted are unfortunately lost media. I know that they may be useful for some people, but by my standards, they're not good enough anymore. Like, they're either old because... Here, let me get the emission. Transparent. They're either too old, so they're outdated and no longer useful for in newer versions of Blender. This needs to be a power node. I wonder how many powers they did. So 2 does that. That and that. Boost the value because I want it to actually have some general glow. So I feel like that's okay. Maybe a bit too opaque. What is this part of the soundtrack from? No, it's a... Wait a minute, is this like from the brain almost has it, but does not quite. This is much more funky than the others, and I'm used to funky Mario soundtracks. The trail. Some of them just die and don't stuff. So the last piece of the puzzle that I would need is... Let me go back to the Star Bit Mother. Let's go and tune this a bit more. Is this from Super Mario Galaxy 2? Yes, well, no, all this is from Super Mario Galaxy 2. For some reason, I thought this was the Super Mario Galaxy 1 soundtrack. Ah, look at this. And this is all camera facing. Rails always face the camera. Maybe he's still glitching out. There's nothing. Oh no, of course. It's still in the Collider collection. I am a bit dumb. I thought I was just selecting one object. So now there should be no horrendous collision happening. Let's go and make sure this updates. Maybe this will go and fix the thing. Regular whoa! I forgot to turn off the regular gravity. No, that won't do it all. There we go. There we go. Oh. Yeah, no, that's a problem. They're, whoops. That's unfortunate. So they're not living long enough, and the force is not nearly strong enough. So let's go and just warp the gravity a bit for stylistic purposes. Make it much heavier. Maybe they just don't need to be thrown as far. Yeah, okay, let's try to keep gravity as standard as possible. And with the children. There are multiple children. Scale velocity. Let's make this 0.25. And a little worried about that. And now they're doing nothing. Or I can make it so that they are only powered by random velocity. Oh, no. Oh, is that the problem? The problem is when they hit, yeah, oh, that could do it. Aw. It's too much, but I do find it quite charming. Yeah, no, they need the initial velocity going. That they actually get thrown a bit. Why are they dying so fast? I think they live for like 4 seconds. Just did the counting in my brain. Let's see. It's way too much, but I do, let's go and turn down the particles per second emitter. Let's drop that down to 5. That. And yeah, I need a lot more sparklies going. Well, that's the last bit there. I've been doing this for almost an hour even. My timing is impeccable. Posing Rosalina up there. How are you doing? You're doing well. So I don't actually know, because it's not the right texture back there. It's using some sort of environment texture for the background. So I need to figure out what's being used back there. Let me just go and use the... Yep. Looking good. Looking good. That's close to working with the graphics looking a bit fancier than usual. It's looking a lot less shaded than usual. Let's, right. I forgot to reattach that. There we go. So, say that and that, that and that. And also, with the world, I do reduce the saturation by a lot, or else it'll look like this. Which, you know, I just turn it down by a lot. This looks like there's no sunlight. Well, that makes it look like there is a sunlight, but with the way Super Mario Galaxy works, there is no actual sun, because the lighting would look very weird if it were directional. Actually, wait a minute, that actually looks good. Kinda looks weird like this, so in different orientations around the planet, it would look weird. Trust me, trust me. That actually looks good. That was a much more orange sun. I'm going to have 2 versions of this. One that's like replicating the look. And then one that is very much, the trails are feeling a bit too... Actually, yeah, let's take a look at the reference video again. So here we can see... Oh. That's unexpected. A twist? Or no. Okay, it just did it. Ah, okay, that makes sense. So I can make this more like the original. Trail side. Oh, I'm in the... Yeah. Here. And let's go back into the world once again to disable this once more. Saturation, 0.5. Look at that. Oh, you love to see it. I think that's a good, well, 0.3. Yeah, that's a good mix between the two. Still getting some environment lighting and all that. And then that is just straight up unshaded. But still somewhat shaded. Given the, yeah, that's what it sees. Still some environment lighting, but not a lot. See? Very little. Oh, and I bump up the strength by 100. That explains a lot. Yep. Explains a lot. So if I were to do that, and then that, and then that, it's giving off nothing. Okay, but that looks normal to me. It's 2 AM here in Egypt. I was working on a project of Maine. It's about a slim character playing baseball. Anyway, just wanted to say hi, see ya. Hello, sorry if I missed that again because I'm so slow when replying to messages, but I hope the project goes well. Look at that. So cool. Shame the normal. Look at that. Also, I want to make some of them orbit. I don't... Oh, wait, no, I know how to do that. So for these, for the children, let's go and... Right here, random velocity. Let's go and turn that down by a lot. Let's scale this velocity by 0.5 and then 1.5 just so that the ratios, we need to keep the ratios. Here we go. Actually, that seems to be a bit too long. They're supposed to bounce twice before they die. Lifetime, 3 seconds. Nostalgia. And now, what would happen if I... At GPU. Please tell me you're not... Okay, good. It wasn't loading the kernels. It looks basically the same. Good. Actually, wait. Let's check that and then go back to Eevee. Yep, basically the same. Because again, this was made in a 20-year-old engine, most likely. It was 3 years old probably when they made the engine. The thing is, do I have this little guy just chilling around, just doing that? I know I need to make this guy like go that. And I do want to, I separated these to add in subdivision surface because these guys are a bit lower poly than I would like. But I want to keep most of it intact. So this guy, they just float around, and then when it happens, it goes doodaloo. Poor Rosalina. No textures. For the most part. Yeah, let's go and add in a bit more. Let's make this a bit cooler. So, when they spawn, when these guys spawn in, they need some random velocity. Let's set this to be 1. 10. Keep forgetting we have delta time. Oh my gosh. Now, the one... oh, they die because of their... I forgot their lifetime. So good. So good. Even though they're supposed to go straight down, you know... Maybe I should go and turn off the drag as well. You know, because if I make it just strictly accurate, you know, maybe it's not quite as fun. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's so good. And I just need to add in the sparkles. Which I still don't know how the sparkles actually. So hopefully, yeah. Let's have that be less. For the random velocity, let's half that so that they get a little bit of stuff happening. Well, are still dying unceremoniously. You know what? Bump it up to 30 seconds, even though none of them should be dying early. Whenever they hit, they should... Yeah, like that. Okay, so some of them are dying and not giving any offspring. Okay, delete on hit. So let's throw both of them there. I know some of them just don't. Maybe they teleport to the other side due to weird mesh stuff. Different planets. Look at that. Oh, and if you're wondering, like this texture right here. Let's go to the object, of course. with this, originally, it looked like that, which looks very low poly. Uh, very low res, which, you know, doesn't look the best. So what I do to make it look better is I just take two of them, overlay them, and make it look better. They've been doing this since, I believe, the Mario 64 days. But look at the difference. Like that versus that. Like, look at that. Just two layers, I guess replicating fractal noise. Because there's one twice the scale, and then you do that. But it looks so good. Like, you don't get the repetitiveness of that one. And you get the general... It works so well. Again, look at that, and that. That, and that. It works so well. It blends so well. I thought I saw one go through, then wrap around, maybe collision issue. Yeah, that sounds about right. Because normals like this I'm worried about. Because this does not use true normals. Wait a minute. This use true normals? And I can't edit it because I did it. So in particle mesh collision, which this is fairly old. Ah. That's the problem. I made this before true normal was available. So when it comes up against custom normal, which does this have custom normals? No, it does not. Okay, so it may just be weird normals. I don't know. It's probably a problem with my collision system. I need to update it. Let's go and put all these objects in another collection so that I can easily hide them. What else is in there? Okay, we have that. Okay. The beach galaxy. So I'm going to take you, parent you to you, object. What did I just parent? Yep, that makes sense. We're going to have you, we're going to move you to another one here. So maybe this one will be test, or no, set. Blue, and then we're gonna hide it, of course. Then we're going to have this in the background. How far in the background? Maybe more like that. And then we have it rotate slowly over time. Now, does it detract from the main thing? Kind of does. And now that I think about it, I'm not loving the general hues going on here. Yeah, we need you in the background. Rotate a bit. Make it nice and linear. Hope Oilers don't screw me over. Oilers are screwing me over. Ah, so sad. There we go. Let's do that. Then we just rotate you by a lot there. Yeah, that should be good. Linear, of course. And then we just scale this up by a ton. A ton? Oh, yay. We're getting plenty of time. Right. Let's go over to the camera. Let's do that. Really, I should swap these so that everything besides, everything that's not strictly needed. To a new collection. Star, whatever mesh 2 is. I'm assuming that. Yep. That one, and then launch start. Yes, that's what it's named. There, that one, and no. There we go. Hide all view while keeping view. There we go. So now it's just a matter of making it look good. Just like that. I don't want it to add in the sun because it's not accurate game. But it does add a bit. It does, as much as I say it. It makes it look a bit better. Also, that would also mean we would have to change this to be filmic to try to keep, or actually, what about Chronos? Did it? You doing okay, Chronos? That's... Why is that? Or some of my emissive values may be going into the negative. Or maybe that's just how Chronos looks? Definitely a stylized look. Say. And we have that. Standard's the way to go. Or filmic. This help a bit. What about... Ah, lovely. I see no problems with this. Yeah, no, let's go back to the basics. Overblown, which is unfortunate. Only I could apply the view transform to the light layer and leave the albedo intact. Which I know I probably could. I just made this a rim light. There are better ways of making rim lights, but here we are. Also, this would have to be jittered in order for it to actually work the way I intend. 5. Yeah, maybe this... I should just do this in the actual shader. Yeah, not the biggest fan. Unlit. And then just... No, that's way too much. That, way too much. 7.5. Oh, no. Here we go. 100. Overblown. 2. Nope. 0.6. 200. This feels good, but it feels a bit too cold, I think. I need interactive lighting on that. Like, at what point do I just say, yeah, let's go and do it their way? 5. A little bit of hue shift to blend it all together. I'm happy with what I have here. But I do need to add in the sparkles. That's left. But I think I might save that for... We're already at an hour. Mostly happy with what's happening here. But some parts are... Still need some work. Oh, I got a grand star. Lovely. Music is so triumphant. The trails need work. While I do like them, it's a bit much. Then yeah, let's use a regular map range just to reel it in. Doesn't need to be insane, just needs to look good. Nope, wrong one. 0.5 and 1. Which can I... No, I cannot play with any of that. Not great. Yeah, much as I hate to say it, maybe I need to use a bit of this. Let's look a bit more misty. Yeah, I just need the sparkles and then we'll be good. So much nostalgia right there. Love to see it. Attempt to put in the sparkles now. Let's get this setup going. Actually, wait, children. So enable children on hit. If I turn both of those off, it should spawn constantly. Maybe. Forget if I've actually put in a... Did I actually put in a system to make it so that they spawn all the time? Ooh. Actually, I forgot if I did. Uh-oh. Well, I can make a custom for it, but I really don't want to. Anyway, I think this is good for now. Nice little nostalgia trip. Maybe I'll do more with this in the future. But for the time being, it's cute. I like it. Let's go. Let's see, particle. For an amount, let's make it 3, because that feels about right. Wait a minute. Why do on a hit? Why is that registering a hit on the first frame? Oh no, they're all registering hits on the first frame. Oh no. They're all registering as deleting on the first frame. Oh no, that's a problem. Help. That should not be happening. I need to fix that. There we go. Okay. Now packed, and I can investigate the issue. I don't want to investigate the issue. This thing is so horrendously complicated. New particles. Here it is. If we'll delete or is hit, that's enabled. Will delete needs to be set to false by default. Why would that happen on the first frame? I don't know why. First frame. Is hit set to true, and then will delete is set to that. So maybe exit. Wait, no, but why would it make a particle occur? Maybe it's because it doesn't exist? Attribute doesn't exist initially? Means all I would have to do to potentially fix it is set the will delete value to 0, which I already did. But that's the new particles, which I haven't done. So, all I need to do is make it so that new particles have a will delete value of 0. Will delete boolean. In theory. Nope. Still does it. So that is not the problem. Not the problem. Here again, the source comes from there. Instances are separated, they do that, and then we separate by will delete. Is hit. For that, they separate. So will delete has to be set to true for the first frame. So if we do a little bit of debugging, which is so fun, I love doing this, I never want to do this again. Will delete is set to 0, but for some reason, no, the data there is perfect. Why does it insist spawning? That would be a reason. Dang it. There was nothing wrong with my system. It was perfect. It always was. And the problem was I was just spawning in particles and I forgot to do it. Forgot to disable that. Some particles are still deleting and like flying to the other side. Oh well. So sad. but we got mostly what we wanted. Now we can make them properly orbit and all of that fun stuff. Now for the children. Once again, for this right here, I can set this to be 1. Teleporting to the other side. 100%. Actually, no, they're not spawning when they need to. So they're just hitting and deleting there. They should do that, but for some reason, some of them, they just hit. Oh well, investigation for another time. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this little live stream going down a nostalgia trip. And yeah. Should I put a warp star in the background just for fun? Maybe a bit more atmosphere. The atmosphere is a bit, yeah, a bit less. But yep, that was fun. I enjoyed that. Yep. Do I move you? One in the background, but not 2 in the background. Dang it. Keyframes, turn that off, move it down. There we go, that's a bit better. Anyone who's played the game will recognize that. I have this planet rotating. Yes, I should. Let's go in parents. That control P object. So here we're just gonna do turn in, of course. I, and then over here we're going to spin it a lot. I, linear. Let's be a lot. And there we go. Bias it towards this side because I think that looks a bit better. Here we go. The particles. Okay, they're still there. Good. Oh, we got the very nice desert galaxy music. I don't know why some of them just delete and then don't do anything. So disappointing. Yep. Maybe a little bit of color grading will do some wonders to this. But I think this is good for now. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.